The brand that built its empire on reliability, safety, and trust is now facing the biggest scandal in its history. Reports are flooding in that Toyota's internal testing data, the very foundation of its reputation, may have been manipulated for years. Whistleblowers from inside Toyota's engineering division have allegedly leaked documents showing that emissions and safety data were falsified to pass regulatory standards in Japan, the US, and Europe. And when the Japanese Transport Ministry stepped in, what they found sent shockwaves across the entire auto industry. According to insiders, this isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern of deception that could go back nearly a decade. As the truth came out, the fallout was immediate and devastating. Toyota's sales have started to nosedive across key markets. In the US, dealerships are reporting a sharp drop in showroom traffic, with some models seeing sales down by as much as 30% compared to last year. In Japan, loyal customers, once fiercely devoted to Toyota, are walking away in disbelief. Even in Europe, where Toyota's hybrid technology was once hailed as revolutionary, sales have cooled dramatically. Dealerships are packed with unsold inventory, and many dealers are slashing prices just to move cars off their lots. "We've never seen anything like this," said one dealership manager in California. "People are literally returning cars and saying they don't trust Toyota anymore." The scandal has triggered a recall nightmare unlike anything Toyota has faced before. Reports suggest that hundreds of thousands of vehicles could be affected, forcing the company to issue emergency recalls across multiple models, from the Corolla to the RAV4 and even the popular hybrid Prius. Production lines in Japan have reportedly slowed or even halted as engineers scramble to retest vehicles properly this time. Customers are furious, waiting months for fixes that should have never been necessary. Social media is overflowing with posts from angry owners demanding refunds, with hashtags like Chiant Toyota Scandal and Never Again Toyota trending globally. Videos of frustrated customers lining up outside dealerships are now circulating across YouTube and TikTok, painting a picture of a brand in full-blown crisis. Toyota's once bulletproof reputation has been shattered overnight. For decades, the company was seen as the gold standard for reliability, the brand people turned to when they wanted a car they could trust for life. That reputation took 80 years to build, but it's being destroyed in a matter of weeks. Major outlets like Reuters and Bloomberg are calling this Toyota's darkest chapter, while Automotive News published a headline that read, "Toyota's trust crisis could redefine the industry." Industry experts are comparing it to Volkswagen's Dieselgate, only worse because Toyota's entire brand identity is built on integrity and dependability. Now, governments around the world are getting involved. In the US, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has launched an investigation into Toyota's testing procedures, while Japan's Transport Ministry has ordered a full audit of the company's safety and emissions certifications. Reports suggest that top executives could face criminal charges if evidence proves they knowingly approved falsified data. Class action lawsuits are already being filed in multiple states, with law firms representing thousands of Toyota owners claiming they were misled about their vehicle's performance and safety. Behind closed doors, insiders whisper about possible resignations from senior executives, and even talk of the CEO stepping down. Meanwhile, Toyota's dealers are in full-blown panic mode. Across the US, massive dealership lots are sitting full of unsold Toyotas. Some dealers are offering unheard-of discounts, $10,000, even $15,000 off certain models, just to keep cash flowing. A mid-size SUV that was once $40,000 is now being listed at $25,000. Incentives, rebates, and 0% financing offers are flooding the market, but buyers still aren't biting. "People just don't want to take the risk right now," said one Toyota sales rep. "They feel betrayed." Leaked memos circulating online suggest Toyota has quietly told dealers to hold off on major orders until further notice, a sign of just how deep the crisis has become. And if that wasn't enough, Toyota's long-standing hesitation toward electric vehicles is now coming back to haunt them. The company's once celebrated hybrid strategy centered on models like the Prius now looks outdated in an era dominated by full EVs. Tesla, BYD, and Hyundai are racing ahead with affordable, high-range electric cars, while Toyota struggles to catch up. This scandal has only amplified public perception that Toyota is stuck in the past, a company too slow to evolve and now too tarnished to be trusted. Analysts say Toyota's failure to fully commit to EVs is costing them not just sales, but their relevance in a rapidly shifting industry. Around the world, Toyota's rivals are wasting no time capitalizing on the chaos. Honda and Nissan are ramping up marketing campaigns emphasizing transparency and innovation. Hyundai and BYD are flooding markets with aggressive new EV models, proudly contrasting their clean energy focus against Toyota's tarnished hybrid image. Even European automakers once lagging behind are gaining momentum in markets where Toyota once dominated. Industry analysts warn that if Toyota can't restore trust soon, it could lose its position as the world's top automaker, a title it's held for years. Investors too are in panic mode. Toyota's stock price has plunged sharply since the scandal broke, wiping out billions in market value. Confidence in the company's leadership has evaporated, with shareholders demanding answers about how this could happen under such tight corporate control. Some analysts are predicting a long-term decline unless Toyota undergoes a complete restructuring and leadership overhaul. This isn't just a PR crisis, one investor told Bloomberg. This is a structural failure, and it's exposed the cracks in what was once the strongest automaker in the world. As panic spreads through the financial markets, Toyota's top executives are scrambling to contain the damage. Emergency meetings are being held behind closed doors at the company's Tokyo headquarters, where insiders say the atmosphere is tense and uncertain. The board has reportedly formed a crisis task force to manage both the legal fallout and the public relations nightmare. Yet despite their efforts, confidence within Toyota's own ranks is crumbling. Employees are leaking internal emails showing management's desperate attempts to suppress bad press, while others claim the company's leadership ignored early warnings from engineers who flagged inconsistencies in test results years ago. The public sees this not as a one-time mistake, but as a systemic failure that exposes the dark side of Japan's most trusted brand. Even Toyota's global subsidiaries are feeling the shockwave. In the United States, Toyota Motor North America is reportedly facing intense pressure from Washington lawmakers demanding full transparency. Lawmakers are calling for hearings, arguing that U.S. consumers deserve to know how deep the deception goes. In Europe, regulators are threatening to impose new fines and restrictions unless Toyota provides complete, verified test data for all models sold over the last 5 years. And in Australia, consumer watchdogs have already opened investigations into whether customers were misled about fuel efficiency and emissions claims. What started as a Japan-based scandal has now become a global reckoning for Toyota's corporate culture. Meanwhile, customers who once swore by Toyota are turning their backs. Online forums that used to praise the brand are now filled with frustration, anger, and disappointment. One viral post from a longtime Toyota owner summed up the sentiment perfectly. "I trusted Toyota more than any brand in the world. Now I feel cheated." Dealerships are reporting canceled orders across multiple models, including the popular Camry and Tacoma, with many buyers switching to competitors like Hyundai, Kia, or Ford. This sudden erosion of loyalty is unprecedented, and experts say rebuilding it could take a decade or more. The situation is so dire that even Toyota's supply chain is collapsing under the pressure. Parts suppliers, unsure about production schedules, are cutting back operations or looking for other automaker contracts. Factories that once ran 24/7 to meet demand are now operating at half capacity. Workers are facing temporary layoffs, and unions in Japan are demanding answers about job security. The economic ripple effect of Toyota's scandal is now extending far beyond the company itself, threatening thousands of livelihoods across Asia, Europe, and North America. Inside the auto industry, whispers are growing louder. Is this the beginning of the end for Toyota's dominance? Competitors are already circling like sharks. BYD is using this moment to push its latest hybrid and electric offerings directly into Toyota's strongest markets. Hyundai's Ioniq series and Kia's EV lineup are stealing the spotlight, offering advanced technology and clean reputations at similar prices. Even Ford, struggling with its own challenges, is gaining traction among disillusioned Toyota fans in the US looking for alternatives. Industry experts are calling it a perfect storm. Toyota's scandal has cracked open the door for competitors to take over markets that once seemed untouchable. Financial analysts are now predicting grim months ahead. Reports indicate Toyota's market capitalization has dropped by over $30 billion since the scandal surfaced, and it could fall further if more evidence of wrongdoing emerges. Credit agencies are considering downgrading Toyota's rating, citing reputational instability and legal uncertainty. Investors who once saw Toyota as the safest bet in the industry are now diversifying away, pouring money into EV-focused automakers like BYD, Rivian, and Tesla. The stock market reaction isn't just about fear, it's about a loss of faith in Toyota's leadership to navigate this disaster with honesty and competence. At the same time, Toyota's attempts to issue public apologies have only made things worse. The CEO appeared in a press conference bowing deeply in apology, a common practice in Japan, but critics say it felt scripted and hollow. Social media exploded with reactions accusing the company of damage control rather than accountability. Apologies mean nothing without action, one viral tweet said, capturing the public's frustration. Some analysts even argue that Toyota's crisis management has made the scandal worse by appearing defensive and evasive instead of transparent and reform-driven. Adding fuel to the fire, leaked footage from inside a Toyota testing facility has surfaced online, allegedly showing technicians modifying data before submission. The video has been viewed millions of times, further eroding any remaining public trust. Independent journalists and whistleblower networks are now digging deeper, suggesting that this might only be the tip of the iceberg. Some insiders claim the same data manipulation practices could extend to Toyota's hybrid battery performance claims, meaning the scandal might spread into their most profitable lineup. And now, with global media coverage intensifying, Toyota's rivals and critics are framing this as a wake-up call for the entire auto industry. If even the most trusted automaker could fall this far, what does that say about the rest? Regulators are tightening standards, consumer advocates are demanding reform, and environmental groups are seizing the moment to call out the greenwashing that has plagued hybrid marketing for years. Toyota's once celebrated efficiency claims are being re-examined, and some experts say the numbers simply don't add up. As all of this unfolds, Toyota's future hangs in the balance. The company faces a crossroads: either come clean, overhaul its leadership, and rebuild from the ground up, or risk fading into the background as a cautionary tale of corporate arrogance and lost integrity. For now, the world is watching, investors are retreating, and customers are walking away. The question is no longer whether Toyota can recover, but whether it can survive the storm it created. Behind the scenes, the tension inside Toyota has reached a boiling point. Sources close to the company say infighting has erupted among top executives, with divisions forming between the old guard who want to protect Toyota's traditional approach and younger leaders demanding a total reboot. Engineers who once proudly wore Toyota's name are now facing public scrutiny, with some reportedly quitting in frustration over the company's refusal to admit the full extent of the wrongdoing. One insider told reporters, "This is worse than anyone outside realizes. We've been told to stay quiet, but the truth is, the culture of hiding mistakes has been there for years." It's a stunning revelation that exposes how deeply this scandal has shaken the world's largest automaker. Even longtime Toyota loyalists are questioning whether the company has lost its soul. Automotive journalists who once praised Toyota's engineering precision are now calling it a brand in denial. Consumers who spent decades buying nothing but Toyotas are turning in their keys and walking away. "I bought Toyota because I believed in their honesty," said one customer in Texas interviewed by local media. "Now I feel like I've been driving a lie." That sentiment has become the new normal, a dangerous shift for a company that once symbolized trust itself. The fallout is spreading beyond cars. Toyota's financial and leasing divisions are now under investigation for allegedly misleading customers about residual values and loan terms tied to vehicles affected by the scandal. Banks are quietly reassessing partnerships, and some insurers are hiking premiums for Toyota models due to uncertainty over recall risks. Even rental car giants, companies like Hertz and Enterprise, are reportedly cutting back on Toyota orders as they wait for clarity. What was once a seamless business network now looks fractured and uncertain as partners distance themselves from the scandal-ridden automaker. Meanwhile, Toyota's international operations are struggling to maintain stability. In the United States, factories in Kentucky and Texas have reduced output, citing inventory alignment, but insiders say it's really due to plummeting demand. In Japan, local media reports that Toyota has postponed several upcoming model launches, fearing they'll flop in the current climate. European operations are facing fierce backlash from environmental regulators, who accuse Toyota of misleading emissions data that could violate the EU's stringent clean air standards. Every corner of the company's global empire is under strain, and the pressure is only building. And then there's the public perception battle. Toyota's once impeccable image has become a PR disaster zone. Online, memes and hashtags mocking the brand are spreading faster than the company can respond. Social media influencers who once collaborated with Toyota are now publicly cutting cutting ties. YouTube channels that used to review Toyotas favorably are uploading videos titled "Never Buying Toyota Again" and "Toyota Lied to Us All." The company's marketing department is in overdrive, releasing polished ads about commitment to safety and transparency, but they're being met with ridicule and distrust. The internet has turned against Toyota, and no amount of glossy advertising can undo that kind of damage overnight. At the same time, competitors are pouncing. Tesla's Elon Musk wasted no time throwing shade online, posting a cryptic tweet, "Honesty and innovation always win." It immediately went viral. BYD, China's fast-rising EV giant, launched a new global ad campaign centered on authentic performance and real results. A clear jab at Toyota's credibility. Even Hyundai's CEO made a subtle comment during a press conference, saying, "Customers today value truth as much as technology." Every automaker in the world is using Toyota's crisis as an opportunity to boost their own image, while Toyota scrambles to stop the bleeding. Inside Japan, the scandal has also ignited a cultural reckoning. For decades, Toyota represented Japan's industrial pride, a symbol of precision, discipline, and honesty. Now that symbol has cracked. National newspapers are running editorials calling for corporate reform and accountability. Politicians are under pressure to take a tougher stance on automakers accused of misleading regulators. Some even warn that if Toyota's scandal deepens, it could hurt Japan's entire automotive sector, which employs millions and contributes massively to the nation's GDP. The stakes are higher than ever, not just for Toyota, but for Japan's reputation as a manufacturing powerhouse. Analysts say Toyota's next moves will determine whether it can survive this crisis. Some are calling for an independent international audit of all its testing procedures. Others believe only a leadership overhaul, including the resignation of key executives, will restore confidence. There's even talk that Toyota may have to spin off its EV division or rebrand it entirely to distance from the scandal's fallout. Toyota can't just apologize its way out of this, said one automotive analyst. It needs structural change, not slogans. But the question now haunting Toyota is this: has the damage already gone too far? Even if the company fixes its testing systems and compensates customers, can it ever rebuild the trust that once made it the most respected name in the world? Trust, after all, isn't something you can recall or replace. Once it's broken, it takes generations to rebuild, and as new leaks threaten to expose even more unsettling details about what went on behind Toyota's closed doors, the automaker's nightmare seems far from over. Industry insiders say more whistleblowers are preparing to come forward, armed with documents that could reveal even deeper levels of deception, from emissions reporting to hybrid efficiency data. If those files become public, this scandal could go from catastrophic to irreversible. The whispers of new revelations have set off alarm bells across the entire auto industry. Reporters are camping outside Toyota's headquarters, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Every day brings a new headline, new leaks, new testimonies, and new evidence pointing toward a cover-up far more extensive than anyone first imagined. Anonymous insiders describe years of internal manipulation, where mid-level managers allegedly altered testing results to meet deadlines and avoid cost overruns. Engineers who raised concerns were reportedly reassigned or silenced. One whistleblower told Japanese media, "It wasn't a few bad apples. It was the system itself that demanded the lies." As these claims circulate, Toyota's leadership is scrambling to keep investors calm, but confidence is evaporating faster than they can issue statements. Stock analysts are slashing ratings, and global investors are demanding independent verification of every vehicle certification Toyota has issued in the past decade. The scandal has now drawn comparisons to corporate disasters like Boeing's 737 MAX crisis, where cutting corners for profit led to a complete collapse of public trust. And much like Boeing, Toyota's crisis is becoming a symbol of corporate arrogance, a warning of what happens when a company grows too big to question itself. On the ground, the effects are devastating. At Toyota dealerships across the US, Canada, and Japan, cars are just sitting. Week after week, unsold. Salespeople are being laid off. Service departments are overrun with recall appointments, and frustrated customers are demanding buybacks. Some dealers have even resorted to desperate tactics, offering free maintenance for years or extended warranties just to lure buyers back. But the damage is done. It's like trying to sell a sinking ship, said one dealer in Illinois. People come in just to ask about the scandal, not to buy. Even Toyota's famous hybrids, once the pride of the company, have become symbols of doubt. For years, Toyota claimed its hybrid engines offered unmatched efficiency and environmental benefits. But now, regulators are questioning whether those numbers were inflated too. The Prius, once the poster child of eco-conscious driving, is facing intense scrutiny from environmental watchdogs demanding proof of its claimed emissions levels. If those figures are proven false, Toyota's entire hybrid legacy could crumble overnight, taking decades of brand equity with it. And while Toyota fights to contain the crisis, competitors are capitalizing like never before. Tesla is now aggressively targeting Toyota's disillusioned hybrid owners, offering special trade-in programs for anyone switching to a full EV. BYD has launched a Trust in Technology campaign in Southeast Asia, directly contrasting their transparency with Toyota's secrecy. Even traditional rivals like Ford and GM, who have faced their own share of scandals, are now positioning themselves as honest innovators, taking every opportunity to remind customers that they haven't been caught falsifying data. Back in Japan, the social and political fallout continues to deepen. Members of parliament are publicly demanding Toyota executives testify under oath. Transport officials are threatening to revoke certifications for certain models until full retesting is completed. The Japanese public, long proud of Toyota's dominance, is now expressing a rare mix of anger and embarrassment. This isn't just Toyota's shame. One editorial in the Asahi Shimbun read, "It's Japan's." That sentiment is spreading fast as the scandal becomes not just a corporate disaster, but a national crisis of confidence. Meanwhile, inside Toyota's offices, morale has hit rock bottom. Employees describe a company paralyzed by fear. Meetings dominated by lawyers, not engineers. Innovation projects have stalled as management diverts all resources into legal defense and crisis communications. The once vibrant culture of Kaizen, Toyota's philosophy of continuous improvement, has been replaced by chaos and damage control. One former executive, speaking anonymously, said it bluntly, "The Toyota way is gone. It died the day we chose numbers over honesty." Even the media, which once treated Toyota with near reverence, has turned merciless. Major outlets are publishing exposés detailing how Toyota's board ignored repeated red flags from internal auditors. Investigative journalists are uncovering confidential memos showing that some senior executives were warned about data irregularities years before the scandal broke. The narrative is shifting from shock to outrage. The world isn't just surprised that Toyota lied, it's furious that the company thought it could get away with it. Financial experts now warn that the damage could take decades to undo. Toyota's global brand value has already dropped by billions, and its future profits are under severe threat. Analysts project that if lawsuits continue piling up and regulatory fines intensify, Toyota could face losses rivaling or even surpassing Volkswagen's Dieselgate fiasco. Shareholders are demanding resignations, restructuring, and a total overhaul of corporate governance. Rumors are swirling that major investors may push for a leadership change at the very top, possibly even forcing out members of the founding Toyota family from executive control. And yet, through all this turmoil, Toyota's silence is deafening. Their public statements remain vague, their apologies cautious, and their promises non-committal. While the world demands transparency, Toyota seems trapped between denial and damage control, unable to confront the full scale of what's been exposed. Each day they delay accountability, the public trust erodes further. What once stood as a beacon of reliability now looks like a house of cards collapsing under its own deception.